Hello again, I'm Dan Morfitt and this is your daily rundown on Channel 7. I'm joined now by our regular Dr. Dolittle, the excellent Andrew Grantham from Animals Intuition. Thank you for coming back.
No problem, nice to be back again. Dan.
Always a pleasure to have you in.
Fantastic.
Now, Animals Intuition, you go around schools and you do parties and colleges and residential homes, anywhere, and you take in animals so people can get close to them and see the majesty of them all.
Yeah, a little bit of education, teaching what's out there in the wild, what different kinds of animals we've got, teaching children that not all snakes are going to eat you. So it's just a little bit of education, a little bit of fun as well, hopefully.
And in the past, on the Daily Rundown, you brought snakes, tarantulas, skinks, those little sandfishes, which were really cool, bearded dragons.
Yes, a little bit of a variation, so hopefully something new and different each time I'm on.
From all across the globe, and
Indeed.
Tonight you got in some very, very special guests, Charlie and Lola. We'll talk about them in a bit.
Yeah.
But first, introduce us to SEO Trot.
SEO Trot, so named after the Roald Dahl tale. The tortoise was actually called Alfie in SEO Trot, but the kids wanted to call it after the tale rather than the actual tortoise.
And if you're thinking at home, yes, SEO Trot backwards is tortoise.
Indeed.
That's how it works.
Let's get the hay off.
And this
there.
is a redfoot tortoise.
So it's what we call a redfoot tortoise.
Yeah.
There's lots of different variants of these. They're a South American species. I don't know whether you want to have a little hold with your hand underneath there.
I'd love to, yeah.
Just be careful of her feet if she does start to move around a little bit and you're not keen.
Hello, lovely.
If you go with her feet, because they're quite a strong, very, very strong, powerful leg, with quite a strong, sharp claw on.
I've felt a bit about. Oh, hello, that's your tail. She looks a little bit like Darth Maul from Star Wars.
I've
with
had
her
some
red
of the kids
face.
say that. She does look absolutely awesome, but not evil with it.
No,
she actually looks quite pleasant and attractive as well. I think interestingly, before you mentioned about the sharp edged mouth at the front and whether she had some teeth in there. We actually normally refer to that as a beak.
So it looks like it looks like a set of teeth. She looks a little bit like Esther Ranson.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Can you see those teeth right at the front? So that's not teeth, they're a beak.
So it's a beak, a sharp-edged mouth, which is used to chop food up with. They can swallow quite large chunks of food, actually, especially when they're little. She was probably about a third of that size when I got her, and she's swallowing some pretty big chunks of food. I used to sit and watch her eat, so make sure that she got it down okay, but they can swallow some pretty large chunks of food.
So how old is SEO Trot now?
She's 2 years old, and usually these reach, probably looking around average, about 35, maybe 40 years. Wow. They can reach about 50 years as a maximum. Medium-sized tortoise, so still got a bit of growing to do there. Some of the white you can see on the shell, that's the new shell growing through.
It's still quite soft and bobbled, so I'm guessing that's still growing.
Yeah. So it should be nice and hard. There shouldn't be any soft patches on there as such, but a little bit bobbly. But yeah, she's still growing, and quite a fast-growing species as well.
You said as well before we came on air that this on top is like nails, it's like hair.
Yeah. It's a keratin base. They're called scutes. And it's a keratin-based outer covering. Under there, basically, the shell is fused bones and ribs.
So underneath, it's
they've all
hard.
sort of fused together to create the actual shell itself, and then that's covered in a keratin-based covering.
And with this, the redfoot tortoise, would it have to go in a box like on Blue Peter for half the year?
No, so she's awake all the year round. I do have to make sure that she's the right temperature. So she likes it around about sort of 80, 85 degrees up to about 90, 95 as a basking area. So she's got to have a nice big vivarium, so you've got the temperature gradients in there for her. And they also like it quite humid as well as a species. So I've got to make sure that I monitor the humidity as well, make sure she's well sprayed. She's got an area to go in that she can stay nice and moist and damp.
She's been loving the last few days then, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So she's not a turtle though, she can't swim, but they do like to bathe. So she's got a nice big dish, shallow dish, so she can go in there, have a little paddle around and a bathe in there. And to get clean as well, because they quite like to dig, these tortoises.
And with that big beak at the front of the mouth, does this tortoise eat anything? Because I normally think it must just eat grass.
Yeah, so most species are herbivores, so they're plant eaters. Some will eat sort of weeds and things like that, so pretty good to have in your garden if you can, if you've got this time to spend with them. But these are actually omnivores. So the main diet probably would be fruits and leaves. Having said that, She's quite happy to eat meat. In the wild, they'll eat carrion as well, which is quite unusual. So if there's a carcass of a dead animal lying around, you could get a few of these guys gathering round nice family meat at the carcass and tear the meat off and
that's going to be
have
somebody's
a nice
nightmare tonight, like just a few tortoises eating on a dead body.
Yeah.
So
they are omnivorous.
Sorry about that.
They are omnivorous. At home, she eats things like blueberries, mango, cucumber, lettuce, cabbage, broccoli. Then. Yeah, she's pretty healthy, but she does love the chicken. If I put the chicken, even if I bury the chicken, she'd throw the veg off, eat the chicken first, and then go back for the veg after. So she is quite good.
SEO Trot's now trying to climb away from me, so can I give her back to you?
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me hold her.
Excellent, no problem.
Now let's get on too much maligned individuals, because everybody loves a tortoise.
We'll do a bit of a swap over now. Now, I had a last minute change of heart tonight, because originally it wasn't going to be Charlie and Lola that I brought, but
Charlie and Lola,
Lola,
innocent, lovely, cuddly little animals.
All of the publicity they get is pretty much negative. They get a really bad show. So I thought tonight we can give them some positive time.
So these are two Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
They are indeed. So I bought one male and one female.
Ooh.
One Charlie, one Lola. So I've got a colony of about 60 of these at home, all interacting. So I don't know whether you want to have a little go.
Shall I have Charlie?
If you like.
So Charlie's the male.
Yeah.
Hello, Charlie. Hello.
So that's it. Just give him a bit of shade there.
So
Madagascar hissing cockroaches, as the name suggests, Madagascar species. Island just off the east coast of Africa. They are a rainforest animal in the wild, and they pretty much clear up waste leaf litter. They'll eat wood, rotting wood. They'll also eat fresh stuff as well, so fruits, vegetables, that kind of thing. Pretty much anything that you want, really. So they do clear up for the planet.
And most people, like you said, are scared of cockroaches. They think evil things of them.
Yeah.
We don't really find them that often in the UK, do we?
No, I mean, people tend to associate them with sort of filth, with dirt, anywhere in sort of dirty places. But if they've got shelter and they've got a food and a water source, they'll live pretty much anywhere. Mm-hmm. I think there's about 4,000 known species now on the planet. Of that, there's only a very small handful that are classed officially as a pest.
And as animals, we look at SEO Trot, the tortoise, we think she's probably been around for millions and millions and millions of years.
Yeah. So you think dinosaur, don't you?
Yeah.
Prehistoric.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been around a long time. But actually, these guys can pip her, definitely.
So the cockroaches have been around for much longer.
Yeah, about 380, 400 million years on the planet. And again, sort of like the millipedes that I brought in, Marge the millipede, not changed very much in all that time, really. They are an insect, so 6 legs, and they've got the hard exoskeleton on the outside. And I think we discussed this a little bit, didn't we, before? If you want him to move a little bit, you can just give him a little push like that.
Now, looking at his shell, you think, oh, dirty cockroaches, but it's actually really, really beautiful and shiny and glistening, and it's so intricate the way all their armour and their exoskeleton moves together as they move.
Oh, it's fabulous.
It works perfectly. It's absolute perfection of evolution.
It is. So watching these guys shed or take their exoskeleton off is great. So it's almost like if you were in a sleeping bag, one of those sort of slim mummy sleeping bags, and you had your arms at your side and you had to wriggle out, that's pretty much what it looks like. So they wriggle out, and then the new exoskeleton underneath is completely white. So if you're lucky enough to see it, you'd think they were albino.
Oh, wow.
And then they have to find somewhere to hide for it to harden.
How often do they do that? How often do they shed?
Just as they grow. So it might be sort of a month or so for the younger ones. They'll shed quite rapidly. Maybe a little bit longer between sheds for some of the sub-adults. And
I've got Charlie, and Charlie's the male, and you can tell that by the horns.
Yeah, so he's got. I don't know whether you want to see if we can get Lola on your
Come on, Lola.
As well.
So Charlie's got horns.
So Charlie's got 2 horns here, which the males will use to battle over the ladies, and also Charlie's got the sort of third or coloured.
He's got a third little antenna.
The 2 antennae, but they're sort of covered in almost a velvety material.
Oh,
I'm having a good wriggle round.
They're all rolling around, mate. They're loving it.
But yeah, the males tend to be a little bit bigger than the females as well. So Charlie's a little bit bigger there, probably similar age, those two. Charlie's a little tiny bit bigger.
Go on there, Lola.
Well, they're brilliant climbers. They're a wingless species, so they don't fly. Fantastic little hooks on the legs which they use to climb. And these guys, like Charlotte the tarantula, they can climb up pretty much any surface.
You know what? This is a superb little massage.
They're quite nice, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, he's now nipping me. Is that normal?
It might be just
seeing
if you're a good food source.
I am a good food source, Charlie. I've had a bacon sandwich today, so that's fine.
Excellent.
So, and they're called Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
Yeah. So they have, in their exoskeleton, they have small holes called spiracles, which are essentially breathing holes, but they are able to force air out through the spiracles, which creates a hissing noise. So some scientists say that they can actually communicate, but I think there's three sort of basic functions. There's a fighty male hiss, so when they're fighting. There's an attraction hiss, which the males do when they want to attract a female, and then there's a danger hiss. Ooh. So if there's any danger nearby, they can let each other know that there's danger there. So it's quite cool to hear. I also think, I mean, that's my personal opinion, but if you get a lot of these living together, if they're all hissing at the same time, it's going to sound a bit like a snake to me. So, if you've got a predator nearby and they're all hissing together, if the predator thinks there's a snake down there, that's could scare it away.
And they all live together in a colony, not just Charlie and Lola together.
Yeah, no. So there's lots of Charlies, lots of Lolas, some adults, some babies. So yeah, he's having a little go at me now.
I have to ask you before you go. They say that in the event of nuclear Armageddon,
right,
the cockroaches would survive. Is that the case? Are they that hardy?
I'm not so sure. They are pretty tough critters. They are definitely tough critters, but I'm not sure they would survive. I think they're like anything else. They need everything around them. You may get some survive, you may get some die. But yeah, it's nice to think that they would survive. They can apparently survive for a week without their heads.
Oh,
I've never tried that theory out.
No, you don't want to. You love them too much.
But because their brains are inside their bodies, supposedly you can chop the head off. They can't eat or drink, so after a week without water, they would perish. But yeah.
Well, thank you for changing our ideas about cockroaches. Yeah. And if you're watching right now and thinking, "Oh my God, they're actually really lovely," Andrew from Animals Intuition, thank you so much for coming in again.
Dan.
It's
Excellent.
been a pleasure as always.
Fantastic.
And SEO Trot's absolutely gagging to go out, I think, again.
I think she needs a run, doesn't she?
Nice one.
Definitely.
Right. After Animals Intuition and Andrew, that was fantastic. Next, Ruth and Stephen will be back with something to say next on the Daily Rundown.